Hello everyone and welcome back to Kali, Call of Darkness. This time with Season 2, Episode 11. Amala finds out the meaning of her visions. Let's go. Let's see if any of my theories have been correct. The truth she discovers changes everything radically. Oh god. Uh-oh. Episode 11, Reflection. While I was searching for Kiran's notebook, the lights went out again. I took a candle and lit in what was now a familiar routine. After a while, I put it on the library floor and scanned the bookshelves. I need a book about rocks. The thought that I would have to dig into all of this was depressing. You know what? Exciting. I'm going to learn so many new and interesting things about Indian culture. It's so fascinating. Who knew that even a necklace could spark my interest? Actually, I probably need a book about minerals. I doubt it's a gem, even though Mrs. Chauhan said it's very expensive. After all, it was used to build that altar. They wouldn't have left such a huge chunk of it in the forest if it was that precious. Anorthoside, I think that's what it was called. I need a book on minerals. I looked at this name in the table of contents. You know the name of the stone and guessed that it was a mineral. Your search will be quick. Okay. Having picked up several books about minerals, I began to look for the word I knew in the table of contents. It only took me 5 minutes to find the right chapter. You had no trouble finding the right information. Let's go. I still had plenty of time, so I carefully put everything back in its place. As I was doing so, I noticed that one book on the same shelf was not completely aligned with the others. It was as if the person who had been putting it back had been in a hurry or maybe used it often. Respect. I pulled out the small volume which turned out to be about botany. Some pages were dog-eared. There was nothing strange about it, but I leafed through each marked page out of curiosity. Caliponga, virola, red resin, mint oil. A recipe for an infusion? I didn't linger, but I silently memorized the names of those plants. Then I went back to the book I needed. Because you had time to spare, you found a very important clue. Okay. The chapter told me everything I needed about anorthoside. It's the oldest mineral on the planet. Samples of it were found on the moon. It's also called lunar anthracite because the light-colored areas of the moon's surface are made of it. Popular for esoteric uses, it's a stone with a powerful dark female energy. In addition, anorthoside is considered the stone of the goddess Kali in Hinduism. I recalled from the book. Some of the tiles in the Kalgat garden are made of anorthoside. Is he a worshipper of Kali? I mean, we did suspect that he was doing the sacrifices, so of course, he's a worshipper of Kali. Let's go. As if I thought that you couldn't disappoint me anymore, AMRIT. I noticed it that night. Everything's connected. That discovery surprised me. Even the little things matter here. So AMRIT is connected to the lunatics from Klipagrami who built that altar. They are all Shaktas. But this is too much of a coincidence. Puzzled, I stepped away from the bookshelf and tripped over the candle. It fell, drowning in a pool of wax. Damn it, I'm definitely not going to stay in this library without light again. I quickly picked up the candle and lit it up again. Something flashed in front of me. I suddenly realized that I was looking at a mirror and my own reflection moving inside it. What's this doing here? It's dusty too. Last time this corner was empty. Wow, okay. I stared at my slightly pale face in the mirror. Something moved behind me. Huh? Shock me, come on. Of course. So Kali's coming here to tell me two things? In the reflection, a shadow was creeping up the wall. It wasn't mine. It was shifting slowly along the vertical surface. There was no one there who could be casting it. I felt a pang between my shoulder blades, as if I was being watched. Stealthily, carefully, the shadow moved further along the wall. Of course, I knew it. It was Kali. Kali wants to say hello. It became darker, taking a solid form, and a wicked glint appeared in its eyes. It was moving calmly, as if it knew that I couldn't get away. Unhurried and peaceful, it controlled the situation. Controlled me. That was what scared me the most. A barely audible hoarse whisper cut through the silence. Chills. Chilled to the bone by what I was seeing, I was too scared to turn around. Jusa said, otherwise fate will rip you in half. Otherwise I'll rip you in half. The shadow became more defined. Feminine curves appeared, framed by long tangled hair. I remember her. She's from my visions. The floorboards creaked with every step she took, and I said, damn it, am I dreaming Dark Mother? Mahadevi Kali. I felt fear and awe at the thought that great Kali was standing right next to me, and I was just her ignorant child. Kindness of goddess? I only get kindness of goddess, apparently. Oh, so many this is actually cute that we get to see this with picture. I plucked up all my courage and turned around in one fast movement. The room behind me was empty. Where did she go? I turned back to the mirror. Oh my god. That's just cruel. Miss Bazou. The reflection of a young woman stared back at me. The look she gave me was full of weary sadness, and her thin, beautiful neck was disfigured by a terrible cut. I suddenly knew that it was through her eyes that I had seen those visions of the past. She was at the ritual in the woods and talked to Devadas Dubai. Her large velvet brown eyes seemed so familiar, but that wasn't what scared me the most. Oh my god. I instinctively reached out to touch the surface of the mirror, and the woman in the reflection did the same. When our palms touched, I felt warmth. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The room became suddenly filled with the scent of her perfume, and my heart started aching with longing. Honey, cinnamon, and jasmine, a warm, soft, familiar fragrance. It was like I was home again. Right then I realized that tears were rolling down my cheeks. The woman in the reflection also started crying. Kindness of Goddess path. Come to your senses, Mala. Don't do what you're planning to do. Don't listen to their words and don't let them tempt you. You're not going to find answers. You're going to find death. What's going on? I flinched in horror and guilt, unable to stop crying. That was my mother who had gone missing. That's our mom? We saw the visions. I thought that was Kali, as in an avatar of Kali. And we inhabited that woman's body for that time, because Kali wanted to show us something that we needed to know. We saw vision through our mom's eyes? Mom? Mom! I squeezed my eyes shut, refusing to believe what I was seeing. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's our mom? That's our mom! When I opened them again, there was no reflection or shadow in the mirror. I was left alone with a crushing realization. What I saw in the past, it was my mother's life. Her youth, her life in India before she left. Did she grow up here in Calcutta? Has she been to Klipagrami? I know so little about her. A cry of pain was ripped from my chest, and a wave of despair overwhelmed me. All I could do was take short, ragged breaths between sobs. Shivering and crying, I sank to the floor, wrapping my arms around my knees. I had to put my hand over my mouth so that no one would hear me. A lot was hidden in my tears, countless questions, the horror of my realization, and a feeling of complete helplessness. I stood alone in this battle. No one could understand me. No one knew what I was going through. And everything had just become even more complicated. We saw our mother's path, people. I am weak. The following morning, my eyes were puffy from all my tears. I was feeling utterly exhausted and lost. For 15 minutes, I just lay there, staring at the ceiling. It all makes sense now. In one of my visions, Mom mentioned an Indira. That's Grandma's name. But why was Mom called Miss Basu? Why not Khan? What does Devadas Dubai got to do with it? She used to live in a luxurious house, but she told me that they'd fled from India because they were poor. Where do I start looking for answers? It's obvious that Mom was in a difficult situation. I think she had a good reason to keep quiet about her past. This really hurts me, but if I sort this out, I'll probably find out her motives. Loyalty, okay. Getting out of bed, I went to the bathroom. Mom got into some kind of trouble and she warned me. I'm so sorry for her. I wonder where she is now. You missed your mother and now you're very upset. After washing my face and brushing my teeth, I took off my pajamas. Wow, okay. No. Yeah. Here I'm gonna go with the red. The most difficult thing was to make the swelling go down after a night of crying. Oh, makeup. European makeup? Honestly, this time we're going with the Indian style. Our mother came from India. Now I could be easily mistaken for an elegant local woman. When I was done, I left my room. Today we're styling in Indian mode. Everyone was already gathered in the dining room. The cook was explaining something to Kiran, who was laughing cheerfully. Everyone looked in a good mood. Except for me. Breathe, Amala. There is no need to spoil other people's morning. This is my tragedy, not theirs. I'd better try to cheer up a little. The cook asked me what I wanted for breakfast. You know what? Curry with rice. I feel so hungry. Good, that's how it's supposed to be. You should have a hearty breakfast to give you enough energy for the day. Just don't overdo it or your favorite Saudis won't fit you anymore. Kiran! At least I don't look as if a gust of wind will knock me over. Oh! I'm just athletic. That's what they all say, Kiran. Scrawny. I choked on something. I heard you. I knew that she was faking. Bantering with Kiran lifted my spirits a little. It almost felt like we were back home. That's enough. It's like you are trying to upset me. Auntie, do you really think I'd ever want to upset you on purpose? What a charmer. You never, my shiny boy. It's like there are two suns in the world when you're around. You're as golden as my niece. A sudden thought flashed in my mind but disappeared before I could fully grasp it. Our conversation was interrupted by Aryan entering the dining room. Good morning, children. Meradil. Ready for Durga Puja. It will be such a splendid festival. Is it fun? My brother turned to me pleadingly. Mala, can we go? Can we? Oh, let's go. Come on. I'd like to. It must be an amazing sight, but I need some time to think about it. I'm not so sure it's a good idea. Let him go. What? But why? Let him go. Let my poor child go. Come on, did I come all the way to India to stay home? This sounds like a great opportunity to see something cool. I'll think about it, okay? No, I want to know now. What's there to think about? Path of loyalty, Kiran, please stop asking. I have a lot on my plate right now. You must understand this. You're a smart guy. Work comes before pleasure. Remember that. But I'm so bored. Let him go. Behave yourself then. If you don't distract me, I'll finish everything fast and we can go have fun together. I am struggling to be patient. I feel awful. Kiran sighed wearily, pushing his food around the plate. He seemed to have lost his appetite. He nodded stiffly. Fine, I got it. Why are you being so harsh on Ninam Amala? Let me take him to the puya. Yeah, let him go! You've done so much already. I don't want to keep bothering you. I don't think it's a bother for her. Don't be silly. Let him go! Oh my god, do I have to say it again? Girl, let him go! Are you really offering to help me out again? Our conversation was interrupted by Aryan, who addressed his wife and momentarily changed the subject. I talked to Rahim at the market today. Do you know what he told me? The whole western part of the city is buzzing with the news. What news? Something terrible happened to a family near the slums. Every single one of them went crazy overnight. They were found rambling in a panic one morning. They never recovered. That was the beautiful Priya's fault. How can that be? People say both of their daughters-in-law died, and one of them was pregnant. Maybe they were driven mad with grief. No. My mother kicked me under the table, giving me a resentful glance. I leaned toward him and whispered, What did I do? Stop it. I don't want to talk. I don't want to walk with her. I'd rather not go anywhere at all. Why do you say that? I just don't. Kiran trusts you enough. He mentioned something important. Oh, he doesn't want to go with her. We both sat straighter and continued to eat breakfast. I was a little confused. When we finished eating, I went to the balcony garden on the second floor. I wanted to call Ratan and ask him about everything that happened. But how do I do that correctly? To send him out, Varita Shiva. Mr. Shiva, please help me. Please come here. Honey, I need your help. He's a deity, but we're close. I don't think I need to be too formal. My call was answered quickly. The moment my vision blurred, I collapsed onto the floor. Nice, thank you, Ratan. I'm gonna remember that. But instead of hitting the surface underneath me, I felt nothing. The free fall instantly brought back memories of the damn cave and the crowd of booths who wanted to rip me apart. I suppressed a panic gasp, preparing for a hard landing. How's it going, beautiful? When I opened my eyes, however, I was already laying in front of the shrine. I couldn't remember any pain from the impact, or not even the exact moment I landed there. Rita Shiva sat majestically in front of me. Ratan. You called me, but I had no desire to have a private conversation in that garden. I decided that since you had already taken this journey once, nothing terrible would happen if you did it again. Sir, you are so kind. It's fine. Thank you for answering. I really ought to speak to you. Of course. I told you to call me whenever you need me. I appreciate it nonetheless. Ratan is grateful for your politeness. What brings you here? Our visions from the past. You knew who they were about, didn't you? I did. Path of loyalty, please explain. Why didn't you tell me everything right away? Is there any sensible reason for your silence? You said you cared about me, but yesterday when I was lying in bed choking on my tears, I didn't feel that way. I would have been better if you had told me right away that Miss Bazu was my mother. The reason. And what is that reason? I needed to protect you. It's part of my duty to gradually help you find out all the details. What's that even supposed to mean? Your nervous system is highly sensitive. There are things that you should learn about only gradually to get used to them. I already told you this. But it doesn't make sense. Really? That's what you think? Ratan got up from his seat and slowly approached me with stately grace. He gently tilted his head. How's your grandmother doing? Is she well? Don't. She's in that state only because she's tormented by visions just like I am. Now I know that for sure. And yet she's not well. You lock her in the attic room, don't you? That has always been her bedroom. I looked away. And that room has always been soundproof. I hate you. No, but has Indira Basu always needed a nurse to keep an eye on her? No. So she's not well after all. And I'm just as unwell as she is. Is that what you're trying to say? How is my family connected to Calcutta? To the Dubais? Why was their surname Basu? Don't ask me. Ask those who are directly involved. Amrit or Devazas? Both of them. I hate you, Ratan. I'm only your guide to our culture. But it's the truth, isn't it? Mom and Grandma were not called Khan, but Bazu. Just like you. Why did they change their last name? Mom didn't even get married, so why would she take someone else's name? Besides, my father was just a regular British guy. They had their reasons, behind which lies your family history, but I didn't really know them. I was busy elsewhere at the time. Then let me ask you another question. Did Amrit order you to bring me here? Yes. He ordered you to bring me here. What kind of influence does he have over you? None. I only did what I had to do. Despite that, I felt sorry for dragging you into other people's affairs. Yet you still did it. So who is he? I'm forcing you to fulfill what's our duty. What duty? To keep the peace. To maintain order in Calcutta. You're part of that order. That's why everything happened the way it did. We all had to find you. We all? Yes, the Dubai and I. Please don't ask any more questions. Only they can give you the answers you seek. Now you know that you play an important role in the events taking place in Calcutta. In that case, I want to go home now. Close your eyes. I'll take care of everything. His shrine didn't smell of anything. It was scrupulously clean. There was nothing but the faintest whiff of sandalwood. When I closed my eyes, I instantly felt the air around me change, from cool to hot, humid, heavy. As thousand smells mixed it, smoke, fried food from a street vendor, dust. The silence was shattered by the noise of the city. Okay. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in a narrow alley. My destination was the Dubai's secret library room. That's the only way we're gonna get answers. Since the Dubais are connected to the Basus, it means that they were both influential. That my family was influential. Probably Amrit's collection has more information about it. It was pointless to ask the Dubais themselves about anything, because they were just toying with me, they were trying to hide everything. Honestly, they were toying with me. Like everyone else around me, they just watched my futile attempts to figure out my past. They were having fun. It all reeked of unspeakable arrogance. That's why I wasn't counting on their help. Trespassing is wrong, but they've done far worse things. Amrit didn't harm me when he caught me in the temple that night, but how will he react to me sneaking in here? On the other hand, he could have at least put some kind of lock on the door after he discovered I got in. Maybe he purposely didn't do it? It was warm inside the room, and coals were still smoldering in the fireplace. There was a faint scent of incense, as if it hadn't been too long since it had been burned. This alarmed me a little. That I didn't notice was that there was a half-full glass by one of the bookshelves. I had no time to waste. I needed to find something on genealogy or history. There were so many books that, scanning through the spines, my eyes began to hurt, just as they did about 12 hours earlier. At the Chauhans, I was afraid of meeting the dead lurking in the dark, but here I was afraid to meet the living. Amrit would have probably killed me if he found out that I had been poking around here without permission. He can try. If Amrit is really the priest I saw in my visions, I'm in trouble. He's surely going to kill me, just as he killed those who displeased him or got too close to his secret. Was Manu murdered because he helped me? Suddenly I had a realization. If Grandma warned Kiran, she must have known about what was going on here. She used to know the Dubais, so she was probably aware of their affairs and what exactly they were doing. The pieces of puzzle are beginning to fall into place. Yeah, we're connected, as in literally connected. And our families knew each other, like his father, Amrit's father, and our mother knew each other. And they seemed close, actually. After a little while, I came across a book in the history section. Between boring biographies of people I didn't know, a thick, glossy book stood out. Its English title caught my eye. The cover told me that my search was finally over. M. Patil, The Influential Dozen, Banjari, Dubai, and other prominent families of West Bengal. At first, I could hardly believe my luck. Then it all made sense. AMRIT is very proud of his status. No wonder he collects any publication mentioning his family. It's only logical. Why is it in English? Why did this Meryl Patil write in a foreign language? I think this was aimed at foreigners. They were trying to hide details from locals. I would say they were trying to hide the details from the locals. Maybe there's something important hidden in this book. Although there's hardly anything secret about a list of influential families, everyone here would have already heard about them. I started eagerly reading about everything that mattered. Give it to me all. First about the Banjari, since in my vision my mother was talking to a woman from this family. I didn't delve into it, only noting that the family belonged to the Vaishyas, the caste of merchants. The Banerjee family was famous for their level of education, many of them being writers and poets. They made their fortune by finding and selling rare books. Not wasting any time, I studied the chapter about Dubais and then the Bazus. Reading the words on the page, I felt as if I was seeing everything with my own eyes. Show me everything. Ooh, the father. Oh my god. Sorry, Amrit's sudden appearance like that. Hot. Fine ass man. The Dubais are an ancient Brahminical family whose influence in religious circles is considered extensive. They belong to the highest caste and are respected people who enjoy the most privileged position in society. Amrit. Go away, sir. You are way too fine here. This is so rude. This episode is testing me. The Dubais are famous for their sons, who wisely handled the family affairs. The family has a patriarchal structure. Characteristic features are dark curly hair, green or amber eyes, tall stature, and ectomorphic physique. The family had been poor until 1810, leading a pure ascetic lifestyle as appropriate for the Brahmin caste. An alliance with the Basu family was a landmark event. Our grandmother. Okay. The Basus are an ancient Kshatriya family that has occupied the highest position in West Bengal for many centuries. Are we part of the highest caste? More than a third of the Rajas, majors, and governors in the state belonged to the Basu family. They were an influential and powerful family that controlled all the business conducted in the area. Me. The Basus were famous for their daughters, who, due to their assertive nature, successfully and fractally conducted the family affairs. The family has a matriarchal structure. Characteristics features are dark or brown hair, black, green, or amber eyes, medium height, and mesomorphic physique. The family originates from the small village of Klipagrami near the city of Calcutta. The Basus could consider the mutual beneficial alliance with the Dubai family to have been the peak of their influence. Those with knowledge joined those with power in an unbreakable alliance. Was our grandmother with... Nah, that doesn't make sense. Now let me just drop that thought real quick. Around 1960, the Basu family almost died out. As the number of family members decreased significantly, their influence also waned. The reason for this state of affairs is considered to be the loss of the Basu family's interest in management. An alliance with them no longer brought benefits to other parties, and several power players withdrew from the game. You've learned some important details. They will help you in the future. What happened to the Bazoo family? Why did they lose interest in management? They must have been forced to do so? Right of Goddess, they probably valued their position. If everything turned out the way, they must have had no choice. Are you enjoying yourself? Yes. I am. Or I have been enjoying myself until your ugly ass arrived. I flinched in surprise and tried to run away, but I couldn't. AMRIT had put his hands on the bookshelf on both sides of me, trapping me in place. Sir! You got yourself in real trouble. Are you sure about that? His silky whisper in my ear sent goosebumps rippling across my skin. I tried to take a step away, but my back hit AMRIT's chest. I could feel him hovering over me with every inch of my body. I craved his touch. I felt the already familiar warmth that spread through my body every time I was close to him. I was scared. Without turning around, I mumbled, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Dubai. I couldn't see it, but I felt him giving me an appraising look. I'm sure you do. You might even be thinking the same. Nah. You have to explain me a few things, then we can talk about that. What is he talking about? I wasn't planning on stealing anything. Really? Did you manage to kick that bad habit of yours? Ha. I was just looking for a book. No sassy comments today. Are you really that scared? What do you expect? His arm wrapped around my waist and AMRIT pushed me against him. He wants to touch me so badly. Every time he's around, he always touches me. His hot breath was burning the thin skin on my neck. If you didn't come here to see me, this is even more peculiar. What? Why? I hardly ever come here, but every time I do, I run into you. That's called fate, bitch. I knew you were here before I'd even stepped inside. The connection is so powerful. Like I said, soulmates. My heartbeat changes near you. Can you feel it? Yes. After all, my heart was acting the same way. We didn't love each other, but our bodies disagreed, so that means you do love each other. AMRIT started twirling a lock of my hair on his fingers, teasing me. I can feel your heart. It just leaped into your mouth. I turned to him quickly and our eyes met. Don't make the mistake of thinking that I'm afraid of you. I was flustered. Our faces were too close. AMRIT felt solid and self-confident as usual. Hearing my words, he just smirked, unfazed by our sudden proximity. You've been closer than that, girl. I don't want you to be afraid of me. I find no pleasure in fear. Are you sure about that? I prefer to find it in other things. Dubai leaned toward me. As he let my lock of hair coil around his fingers, he lifted my chin. There was something special in the way he looked at me. It wasn't a gaze of simple curiosity or kindness. I couldn't find the right words to describe it. Desire. That's the word. Desire. AMRIT had a way of looking at you, so attentive and focused that made you feel as if you were exceptional. Right then, I was the center of his world, all he cared about. His lips touched my cheek gently and cautiously. His touch felt more sensual than lustful. Like I said, desire. He knew perfectly well that even something so small would have been enough to make me tremble. AMRIT is kinder to you because he likes you very much. You came here without permission. Again. My apologies, master. What were you looking for? Can we go talk somewhere else? Why, girl? You can't make any demands. Are you sure about that? You're the one who got caught, not the other way around. I have the right to decide where and how we talk. You're doing this on purpose, so that I won't be able to give you any coherent answer. Why? You can't think straight when I'm so close? Yes, and that's the problem, so please get out of my sight. Not at all, no. Nah, girl, you're lying. We're both lying through our teeth. I let out a barely audible gasp when AMRIT hovered inches away from my lips. His hands teasingly caressed my back. Fine, speak. I hope I'm not making you uncomfortable. Not at all. Your heart is racing. I was looking for a book about my family. Your family? Do you... His voice grew quieter, more muffled, as if he had moved away from me. I frowned, but then everything started going dark. I was losing consciousness. Amala? Amala? Dubai caught me as I started falling. Don't just stand there, start packing. Are we really going to do this? The wave of anxiety that gripped my mother suddenly swept over me. They'll kill us if they catch us. This is inexcusable behavior. Stop arguing, Josnat. Joitsna. Do as you're told. Indeed, I was nervously grabbing things and throwing them inside some bags. There were only a few pieces of luggage strewn about. The women were going to travel light. I let the servants go. You have to pack everything by yourself. By myself? Mom's hands were shaking, but she obeyed. What about the ones who stay? Well, that's on them. I want them. I'm not going to sacrifice any of you for someone else's crazy ideas. But what about Kamal? He refused to come. He lied in the village like everyone else. You know what's going to happen next. It's for our own good. Mom, are you sure about this? I saw it all with my own eyes, and it was terrifying. The veins in her forehead throbbed in tension. She was talking about something that had unsettled even such a tough and determined woman as the head of the Basu family. I started shaking violently and regained consciousness. Amrit was leaning over me, looking a little worried. I was laying on his lap. Did I really scare you to the point of fainting? Nah, this time it's not you. I tried to get up, but the man gently laid me back down. Careful, don't make any sudden movements. I'm fine. I can see. Yeah, he's like, that's lies. I was laying in a somewhat awkward position. Amrit gently helped me sit up. Let's not waste any more time. Talk. I was looking for information about my family. And do you think it's stored here? Yes, and I've already found it. You finally put two and two together. You knew about everything, right? You knew everything about my family, didn't you? Amrit smirked. Okay, he's a piece of shit, and I'm gonna smack him. The fact that he's finding it amusing for us to tap around in the dark, and then he has the fucking audacity to say that he actually cares. Like, he never said he cares, but he says that he's interested in us. Like he wouldn't want someone to hurt us. Like, sir, get out of my face. Amrit smirked, crossing his legs. He replied in a bored tone, smack him. Of course I knew. Is that why you always paused on my last name? The very idea of using gun instead of the noble Basu name made me feel sick. My last name is none of your business. Honestly, my last name is none of your business. It's mine. You shouldn't even bother thinking about it. Someone has to explain to you what's proper and what is not. And you think that's you. Was it fun, watching me struggle? Did you find it amusing? It was interesting, but not as much as you seem to think. It's hard for me to assume anything else due to your arrogance. Enough. You tell me enough. You be silent real quick. My emotions overwhelmed me. I felt fear and resentment for my mother and grandmother's fate, helplessness, and nerve-wracking uncertainty, and I couldn't shake the thought that my mother was most likely dead. Kindness of Goddess path? Tell me now, what happened to my family? I'm done playing games, Dubai. What happened to the Basu family? What were they so afraid of? And what were they fleeing from? I was hysterical, unable to restrain my feelings. I wanted to scream and rage. Look at you, so impulsive. The rumors about the Basu women are true after all. I hate him. I really do. Like, he's actually trying to make this funny. We're actually struggling right now with our mental health, and he finds this amusing. I could smack him. You're all a little crazy. Crazy. I expected nothing less from you, the famous Bazoo Tempo. AMRIT confused me. I couldn't understand the rules of the game he was playing with me. The sweetness of his touch mingled with his sharpness of his words. All his sarcastic answers hurt me for some reason. Of course, understandable. I don't know what I was expecting. If there's a connection between us, why couldn't he be nicer to me? If I'm annoying you so much, why are you showing me signs of affection? You annoy me. That's what it feels like. You're trying to resist me. You haven't picked a side yet. You don't even understand what you want. That's what annoys me. It tells me that you don't trust me. You expect me to trust you? After you didn't even have the guts to tell me my truth. The fact that he's even mad at us. Do you seriously expect me to trust you? Really? I haven't done anything to you, and I don't want to. But you will? Is that supposed to reassure me? Amala. Yes. I jumped to my feet, indignant. I was attracted to him. There was no denying it, but it seems as if we were on opposite sides. That's enough. And he's mad again, sir. Sir, stop playing big boy. It's making you actually seem like a child right now. AMRIT promptly stood up and took my hand, pulling me back to him. I felt a surge of pride stir inside me. What do you think you're doing? Save these childish tantrums for your colleagues. Nah, sir, I think you should stop with your childish act. I'm not interested in playing stupid games. Then what are you interested in? Fooling around in the temple? That! Tell him he was a bitch. Tell him he was acting like a bitch. AMRIT clenched his jaw but didn't reply. Exactly, keep it quiet, bitch. We said you're a bitch. He was standing beside me. Show me yet that you deserve to have me by your side, sir. My intentions are clear and haven't changed. No, they're not clear at all. You're nothing but full of contradictions. Do you think I treat every woman the way I treat you? Yes. I've seen the way you treat women. Amala, stop it. What? Don't compare yourself to others, or to just anyone. You knew what you were going to see when you entered the temple. No, I didn't know. I actually didn't. I forgive you for every transgression. I'm kind and patient. Do you think there are many women I treat this way? The way he's saying, I forgave you for every transgression, I don't think he's gonna forgive every women for their transgression when we saw how he treated Yashvi when she wanted to accompany him. Like, she wanted to bring him back to the temple. No, I know I'm the only one. But apart from the fact that we are physically attracted to each other, what other reason do you have to consider me special? I do as I feel. I don't cowardly try to come up with a reason for my every action. That's not my point. I need at least one reason to trust you, but I have none. I never meant to deceive you. On the contrary, I want you to want me. I want to see you next to me. As what? As Amala Basu, who's devoted to me. You want me to be devoted to you? Devoted? As if I'm, I don't know, like a lower being? Yes, I will not tolerate betrayal. Betrayal? He's talking about betrayal. You betrayed me. What about you? Are you going to keep running away, or will you finally admit it to yourself? Admit what? That girl. Admit what? Are you attracted to me? Yes or no? You better answer honestly. No. AMRIT looked at me searchingly. I guess there's no point in lying. We feel each other's feelings. That though. Yes, I am. Finally the right answer. He stepped a little closer to me. There was no sharpness in his movements. Every step was soft and smooth. He seemed relieved by my words, even though he had appeared so unshakable in his confidence. His beautiful fingers gently caressed my cheek, tracing the oval of my face. You're more hard-working than I anticipated. What were you expecting? I thought it would all be easier and faster. Why do I have the feeling that he's talking about sex right now? I hate it. Did you really think I was going to throw myself into your arms? You can still do that if you really want to. But I don't wanna. I promise I'll hook you back. I smiled bitterly, saying, You and AMRIT are getting closer, Amrit glanced at his watch. It's time to go. But first I need to clean up after someone who's very careless. I miss Manu. He was a good assistant. Yet you still murdered him. You must be joking. Your father's the one who ordered for him to be killed, or maybe even did it himself. Who told you that? No one has to tell me. I just know things. I guessed it. Oh, what a smart girl. I like that about you. You get out of my face. The fact that he knows that his father is responsible for his death, and he's like, I miss him. He was a good assistant. Sir, why? Just why? Why are you like this? Why? Amrit's mocking tone made it clear that he was not in the least fazed by our conversation. Why did you do this to him? Because of me. Is it guilt that I'm hearing? Yes! Manu failed me on more than a few occasions because he was stupid and careless, and he knew too much. He had become a liability. It was not a crime to let you in here. This knowledge is available to any member of the Basu family. But we didn't know we're a Basu member. But Manu shouldn't have touched anything here. He's a Shudra, and I have no intention of sharing anything with any of them. Shudra is the caste of servants and laborers. I hate this with the castes. Like, because someone touches something that belongs to the higher caste, they have to be decapitated. Like, sir, you really killed him. Well, not me specifically. I'm far too busy for any of that. The fact that he's smirking about that just shows me how ruthless this man is. My sweet Amala. No, not your sweet Amala. It's time you realize that nothing happens here without a reason. Dubai went over to the shelf where he had caught me earlier. With firm and precise movements, he began to rearrange the books. Why did I have to fall for the villain? The same happened with Lance and Eldaria. I thought I had put everything back in the right place, but apparently things were not in the order he wanted. That's probably how he noticed if someone had touched his things. How pedantic. I looked down in shame and thought, damn it, our families used to cooperate. Is that why he was so interested in me from the beginning? And he has been wanting for a long time for me to come to Calcutta. Suddenly something small, golden caught my eye. The ring! A ring? With a blue stone. Looks like one of those AMRIT wears. Did it slip off his finger when he caught me as I fainted? Without thinking twice, I picked it up and gave it back. Keep it. I'm keeping it. It's mine. I only had a moment to act. I barely hid the ring away before AMRIT turned back to me. Don't you dare come here again without my permission. I'm not gonna come here anymore because I know I'm gonna bump into your sorry ass. You either come with me or you don't come at all. If you disobey me, you won't like the consequences. Why are you gonna try to punish me? Like you did with that Devadazi? Sorry, people, I think you noticed that I'm bitter. I'm not over this. You've made yourself clear. While he was talking to me, I was clutching his ring in my hand. You took the Dubai family ring. This will affect the plot. Oh, okay. So can I come here with you? Ask nicely and you will find out. He headed for the exit. Sheka and I will take you home. Again with Sheka? No. That's... Yes. No. I hope to see you at the Puya Malabasu. No. What makes you think I'm even going? He did ask us to go there because of the intercourse ritual. I know you will. Nah. You won't leave Calcutta. You're too desperate to find the answers you seek. Stubbornness runs in your family. There's no escaping it. Don't pretend that you know me that well. I feel you, Mala. When you're angry, when you're afraid, when you're in love. Yeah, he knows that I'm in love with him. I hate this. Just like you feel me. His words infuriated me. Because he was right. Yes, he feels my love. I hate it. I hate this. Religious practices are necessary. The body lives for a short time, but the soul lives forever. I would have waved off his comment, but... The soul? The soul? We were talking in Bengali. Sana. You're being watched. Please be careful. Beware of people who talk about the soul in Bengali. Sana. My beautiful Sana. Amrit, how did the book that I borrowed from you end up here again? You have no friends in Calcutta, Mala. You should know that by now. Did Sana take the book back? Because we lost it when we were with her. Did she take the book back? Sana, not you betraying me too. I can't. I can't with the story. I really can't. Next episode is gonna be season 2 finale. Right now, I don't even know. But I know I'm gonna continue with Amrit. I just feel it because of the connection I feel to this man. He kind of reminds me of me in my worst state. Let me stop. Besides the fact that he's shady and ruthless, I actually like Amrit. Like, he has those characteristics that I like in a man. Confident, cocky, sometimes a little selfish, but still very self-aware. He's confident. He knows what he's talking about, as in he's intelligent, and I love those qualities. Ooh, and besides, he's so fine. But yeah. Next episode is the season finale. Durga Puja, I'm pretty sure. And let's see what's gonna happen there. I hope we're not gonna get another murder. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it for today. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best.